Well, hey there, everybody. Yesterday I went on a road trip to Lincoln, Nebraska. I saw a VEG post about some neon tubing and other equipment for sale and inquired with the seller. They sent me some more photos and decided to go down there and pick it up. But didn't really get a chance to take a look at it when I was loading it into the truck. So now that we got it unloaded into the shop, thought I'd do a little inventory and assessment, see what we got going on here. So we'll dive right in. This is incredibly heavy. It's some sort of transformer. I believe it's a Bombarder. It has some sort of numbers stamped on it. And, it appears to be a variable knob to adjust the number of windings you're going through. That's just a guess here. It's very small. It's one of the smallest Bombarders I've ever seen. I can't imagine it can do a whole lot. It's kind of neat in there. All those wires. Some more vague numbers. That's cool though. Spring loaded. It's a breaker box. Hopefully it was off when they disconnected it. And a fuse. I think this is some sort of contactor. If I had to guess, it's no labels. And this looks like to be the accompanying choke. Again, very small. Very small. This is like 3 centimeters maybe. But it looks like it's motorized. So, I mean, we got this string and some sort of button right there on the junction box. That's snipped off. Looks like that's just probably just a regular 120. Some sort of capacitor here. And this is a little motor. Looks like it has to spin a lot to move that thing. Oh, look at that. I bet this pushes down onto that to turn it off. It's not very smooth. It's kind of sticky. Next we have a really old vacuum pump. Ancient. It's a Senko Megavac. I'll wipe some of this off and read what this says. It says it could go down to 0.1 micron. That's a bold statement. I don't think it would do that anymore. Looks like our intake is jammed with cork, but I don't want to suck that in, but see if this is free. Feels like it's turning. So it probably still works, if I had to guess. Look at this, that logo, that's killer. This looks like late 20s maybe. Oh, look at that, it has a date on it. June 4th, 1921 is the patent date. That's awesome. So they probably made it for a few years, so it's probably 20s or 30s. I'd imagine this is the motor that drives it. 3rd horsepower. But what is this box? Why is it mounted on this box? It's not terribly heavy. The motor's the heaviest part. It's really top heavy. This doesn't look like it would hold any vacuum because it's just pliable rubber. So maybe some sort of a silencing device for an intake. What's this? It's a narrowed diameter glass tube. You can see someone stretched it out for a narrower diameter. Vent. All these pipes sticking out of it. I would imagine it's for the torch air supply. Speaking of torches, we got a few over here, a couple sets of 5-point crossfires. I don't think they're labeled at all. They're pretty old looking. This one looks to be the same style, but it's been painted silver. We got this, which I imagine was probably a homemade glass tee, which is pretty cool. I've never seen anything like that before. Looks like they had their fires on really rich to make all that lead come out of the glass. But over here we got a 16-inch Hyde ribbon burner, number 580, typical model. Looks like this is a later style of economizer on it though, with the flip lever instead of a push knob. Let's see if I can see a marking on the screen, whether it's for natural or artificial gas. Natural gas is just that natural. Okay, yeah, there it is. So that's an N for natural gas, and A is artificial propane. And I've got a couple regulators and about, maybe 20 feet of flexible copper pipe there. All right, next item we got here is a little roots blower. I'm not really sure how big a normal one would be for a neon plant, but it's probably a typical size. Look at these old grease cups. Wow. Never actually seen anything, a motor with anything on it. You fill them up with grease, and then you tighten it down. As you tighten it, it squirts the grease into the bearing. When I saw that 1 cup of grease, that won't fit in there, but I just think it means the cap. So, what is this? Another label over here. Okay, how to fill. But I got a label on it. Serial number AF size 24. Oh, it's pouring oil out. Tipped it the wrong way. Came out of somewhere. Probably the intake. Not sure where they are. I've never seen one of these. I've never heard one in action. It came out of right there. That must be the intake down there. But, let's see. Mercury positive. Well, doesn't seem to have any date or anything like that. I think this is 1.5 inch maybe. And I believe this is the motor for the roots blower. Thermotron. I can't see any horsepower rating on it. Looks like it's got a start capacitor though. So that's kind of cool. I'll have to see if that works. Let's see this turn. And let's see, next we got an Electro Pounce Senior, FMS Corporation. This is, it's an electric pouncing machine used in the sign industry for making patterns. So that's cool. We'll have to see if that works too. Got some knickknacks and things. This is probably some sort of torch mount. What else we got in here? What are these? They look like irons, like they're really heavy. Big brass, copper maybe, huh? Got a lot of them in there. This looks like a big weight. Oh, I bet this is for the weight for the choke. But that's what that's for. Counterweight. That's about it in there. What we got in here? Some like plastic wall pass-throughs. Got some plastic discs. Maybe the tube stand mounts. Plastic standoff letter pads mounting. Maybe for channel letters. Alright. Next we got some conduit couplers. Looks like a little quick release. Brass quick release. Oh, nice. AB McMahon is the company. They renamed them to FMS. I'm not sure when. If I can find the date, I'll put it here. But FMS used to be AB McMahon. This is cool. This is kind of old. It's a tube gauge. Helps you measure the tube sizes. Brillite tubing. FMS still makes Brillite tubing and blackout paint. I got another set of Crossfire bodies without any tips on them, although there's some tips in here. Tips and handle. Knickknacks, more irons or whatever those are. Oh, look at that. That's cool. I bet that goes underneath one of those Crossfires. Hey, look at that. Look at that. This one has an extension on it. Yeah, that's cool. Adds additional heat in the middle. Right on. Blow hose adapter, casters, little valve, more valves. Oh, there are corks in there. Irons, soldered. I bet this is an iron hot stand. These irons, I bet these are, I bet these are used when they would solder the sheet metal seams together, like on the Kitty Clover sign and others. Your heavy duty soldering irons. Cool. All right, what's in this box? Plastic tube pass-through nuts, Westlake Hardware, Bellevue, Nebraska. 1996, look at that. Shower curtain ring clips in 96. Wow, cool. More conduit stuff. Let's see. And this, oh, this is the plastic pass-through tubing that connects those together. And more of those little nuts for those. Let's see, this is from Midwest Sign and Screen. Oh, there's that invoice in here. I'm gonna get a knife and cut that open. We'll see what that says. Tidy awning and signs in Plattsmouth, Nebraska. Yeah, 1995. Look at that old FedEx logo. When was the last time you saw something like that? All right, and next, looks like we got a couple Noble Gas flasks. Let's see if I can get these open. Need 2 hands for that. I just got a tripod because I didn't want to drop these. So these are what neon and argon Noble Gas, well, all Noble Gases, if you, even the specialty ones, mixes and helium and stuff would come in. When you attach them to your manifold, look at that. Looks like it's still got the pip on the end there. So it should still be full of gas. I got neon, 1.25 liters. That looks like maybe a 13 millimeter tube there. Cool. So these are filled up at atmospheric pressure. So unlike the pressurized gas tanks like I have on my setup. So we got, this is Voltark, what does that say? 1051. .2 liters of 1051. All right. That looks like we got it's still intact as well, so it should be full. Man, this thing is super light. It looks kind of like a light bulb though. I want to get spark coil, see if this will light up for us. All right, dim the lights. And we got the spark coil here. Let's see if that lights up. I don't know. It's at atmospheric pressure, so it wouldn't be too bright. I hope. Oh, that's the neon there. That's fun. Oh, wow, cool. That looks like some sort of, I don't know, xenon. I don't know what that is, but I'll have to look that up. That Voltark 1051. That's maybe some sort of blend of Noble Gases, but that's neat. Forgot to mention, I got a roll of brass screen too, which is cool because the one I had was looking pretty tired. So, but now we're the last bit, the glass tubing, boxes of glass tubing. Some of them have labels on them. I have censored the name on here just in case this person doesn't want their name all over YouTube, but if they're even still alive. But it looks like a couple of these came from Dakota Sign Supply and were shipped to Omaha Neon Sign Company. That one too, same, different lot shipments. And this one has a stenciled spray on there, Omaha Neon Sign Company. Although this one here, labeled Central Sign Supplies. And these two here, that's from Voltark to Dakota. This is Voltark to Central Sign in Omaha. So, looks like they just kind of equipment from all over the place. But in here we have some random assortment of tubes. One gold, all tied together. What are these? What does this say? Genuine Willemite, warm white. I can't say I've ever seen a sticker instead of an imprint. A bunch of those. All different sorts of sizes here. I'll have to look through and see if I find anything of interest. Here's a box with 5 15mm tubes in there. Here's another box, the hodgepodge of stuff. Here's some more. Looks like we got some, what is this? Ooh. Uncoated ruby red. Nice. Vintage classic glass. Looks like we got some gold in here. Got some little 5mm tubes sprinkled throughout. These big ones are 15. That looks like another box of 15. Anyway, I'll see if I can find some imprints, and then I'll go get the ultraviolet light. We'll check them out. All right, so the tubes are really dirty, which can pose a problem especially for phosphor-coated tubes. Clear tubes can be washed out, no big deal. But if the phosphors are contaminated, then the tubes won't last very long, even if you bombard them well. Fortunately, some of them are corked and some are even on both ends, so those probably be good. But I saved you some of the sorting. It's just really tedious. I put a lot of the clear in there. So got an ultraviolet light. We'll turn out the overhead lights and see what colors we have. All right, these kind of pinkish looking phosphors, those are whites. When mercury is in the tube, it kind of blue shines through and creates more of a whitish color. We got a bunch of clear lead glass, that's cool. Several different colors, some turquoise and green and blue, more whites. Got those gold. You can see the glass doesn't glow blue like it does over with the lead glass. The glass itself actually glows blue, but classic glass does not because it doesn't have lead in it. It's like the yellows over here and the ruby red there. And over here we got a bunch of 15mm green and some stragglers. So, all right. So I was looking at this strange box here and I saw these bolts sticking out, and that bolt pattern matches the bolt holes of the Roots blower. So I guess they're using this to run the blower. And then I thought, what about this? I think they have this hooked up like that. And from what I've read about Roots blowers, they can sometimes have a pulsating air output, and you need what's called a surge tank, and an extra volume of air kind of buffers out the surging before it gets to the torches, because it'll cause the flames to fluctuate. So I wonder if yeah, there's air coming out of all the ports. So it must be what it is, a surge tank. All right, well, mystery solved on that one. I'll save this for last because I'm really interested to see if this works. First of all, I want to take a look inside. This lid has a hinge on the back. Oh, there's a date on the lid. December 1975. And here's the guts. This is just what a little dial, a little rheostat, I think. And transformer there, also dated, looks 75. We got the cable. Power cable comes out the back. There should be a ground. Where's that? There's a ground. There should be a ground clip, and I don't see one. All right, well, I got a ground wire hooked to that ground screw on the back, so I really hope that's what we need, because this thing can give you a pretty good shock. But I've never used anything like this before, so we'll give it a shot. It's plugged into the wall, and we'll see if the power comes on. Yeah, looks like it. And this just burns holes into whatever pattern you're drawing on a piece of paper. Please excuse my horrible cursive. So we turn this up a little bit to, I don't know, it's halfway. See what happens. Oh yeah, it's working. So you just trace this, and it'll burn little holes into the paper. Maybe turn it up a little more. I don't even know if this is the right kind of paper, but it seems to be burning holes in it. Embellishment. Off. You can see it burned little holes in the paper wherever I was tracing. And now normally what you do is you press a chalk bag or a chalk sponge onto the pattern to transfer the dust onto the background through the holes. I didn't have any chalk, so I got a little bag full of drywall dust, and we'll see if that works. Doesn't come through very well, but we'll see if I can get the pattern to transfer. Some dust is coming out. Alright, so there it is. My terrible cursive transferred onto the door, and then you could paint the letters onto the sign. Anyway, thanks for sticking around to check out that new stuff we got, and also having a little fun. Hit subscribe for more neon related videos. We'll see you next time. And it turns out they match up the bolt pattern on this little roots blower. Boy, it's hard to do one-handed. God damn it. Well, I thought they did. The bolt pattern matches the holes on the roots blower, so I guess maybe they were using this motor to just happens to match. Looks like it matches. Son, just so happens to match. Fuck you. What the fuck, man? These are like loose or something. I'm gonna delete like 8 cuts of this shit.